Oh, hi, I'm Alan.
And I'm Stick.
And welcome to Post-Thanksgiving.
And today we're going to show you how to make a great soup out of all your pre-Thanksgiving leftovers.
Enjoy. Hi, I'm Alan.
And I'm Stick.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're going to be showing you what to do with all of your pre-Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving leftovers. We're going to be making a turkey soup for post-Thanksgiving. So we froze our turkey because we made pre-Thanksgiving and then went off to Thanksgiving with our families. And so I just broke up the carcass and stuck it in the freezer. And now I'm taking it out and putting it in this large pot.
But you could easily do this on your Thanksgiving if you felt like it, or the day after. You don't have to freeze anything.
Yeah, and then there'd be no need for freezing. And if you do decide to freeze it, you can actually buy very large Ziploc bags. And then you don't have to go through the hassle of breaking up the carcass. But I discovered a little gem when I was breaking up the carcass, and I learned that they also stuff some... If you'll remember, we took out the gizzard and the neck from the turkey. But I learned that they also stuff the heart up in the neck cavity. And you'll notice we didn't show that in the last video, and that's because we didn't take it out, and we just kind of cooked it inside.
Yeah, I couldn't find that, so...
I think it added a good flavor.
So the plastic bag really added a lot of flavor.
I think the problem was it was still a little frozen, and I couldn't find... It wasn't loose, so I couldn't find it. So just make sure your turkey's fully thawed.
Right, so you should... Every turkey should have the neck, the gizzard, and the heart. Although, I guess we learned it really isn't a gizzard, is it?
Yeah, it's a giblet.
A giblet. I don't know what that does, but...
It's the ass.
Okay.
The word for the
This is a family video.
But I guess that makes sense if you think about it. I mean, why would you want the part of the turkey that just crunches up rocks?
My dog
Maybe
likes,
if you're...
my dog likes gizzards.
Where do you get gizzards from?
The grocery
The
store.
gizzards... Oh.
So that was 14 cups of water. And then goes the gizzard, which I guess is the giblet. You could also throw the heart in, but as I said, we didn't have that anymore. So we're going to cover that and let it boil, or simmer, I should say.
Can I just add that the light work in this section was phenomenal?
Okay, let me explain what happened here. You might have noticed that I was working the Ziploc bags. And so Stick was in charge of the camera and lighting. And I had to throw away about half of our footage because Stick would fiddle with the lights, and he would literally point the... We light this with a giant, like, what is it, like a
Automotive.
Yeah, like a construction site lamp thing. And he would point it right into the lens of the camera. Or fiddle with it.
So how long did you boil this?
Anyway, so moving on. All we did was put water into the carcass pot there and let it simmer for about 4 hours.
Yeah, and the longer you go, the better it will be.
However, the longer you go, the more fat will come out of it.
Yeah, and we actually take care of that. We learned from last year's debacle. Now we know what to do with the excess fat.
And I really like your filtration system.
I know. This is you'll see this is a dual-layer filtration system to make sure all the gross meat and any little bone flakes are gone.
There's
Which
still a
wouldn't
lot
be
of
a
good
problem.
meat in there. And if you want to sort through it and separate the good meat from the bad meat, you might have a whole another meal worth of turkey meat. But we didn't do that because we've had so much turkey at this point.
Yeah, this was turkey day 11 for me, I think. And it's still ongoing. We still have turkey soup in the refrigerator. So you see this is layer 2 of the filtration system. Much thinner filter.
If you didn't break up the carcass, there probably wouldn't be the danger of bone.
Yeah, that's true.
So keep that in mind if you do this on Thanksgiving. So how was everyone's Thanksgiving?
Oh, mine was pretty good.
Eventful.
Stick has a great Thanksgiving story, but it has to be told off air, unfortunately.
You would have to log into or YouTube to listen to it.
It won't be on YouTube. Now, be careful, because this is hot.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been boiling for about 4 hours, so it's hot. It doesn't look hot, but it is.
I have a lot of hands-on experience with hot turkey fat.
Yeah, so we'll show a really good way of getting rid of the fat, but last year it was awful. It involved straws and blenders, and Chris getting severely burned. And here's the chance for the audience to participate. So just hold your arms out, and it's like you're really involved.
Oh, it's so heavy, I don't know if I'll be able to hold it. Next, we should have a choose-your-own-recipe video.
To take the chicken out of the oven, go to page 25. So what we did here was we actually put this in the refrigerator overnight. And you can see all the fat just floated right to the top, and we can skim it right off. And you might be like, hey, I want some of that fat. But you don't.
Yeah,
It's
poultry
gross.
fat is disgusting.
And the turkey stock itself is flavorful enough that you don't want any of that fat.
Sometimes you'll see recipes that say, like, right after you boil it, you can skim it off. But this is much easier, especially with the amount of fat you'll make by boiling it.
Right. Yeah, that's what we tried to do last year, was skim it off right away, and it did not work.
What's that mysterious orange substance?
Oh, that's a little sneak preview at our next episode. It was that was an interesting recipe that Stick and I came up with.
It was a peach honey mustard glaze, but that's all you're going to get.
But it also wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
But that's not what it was supposed to be.
That's not what it was supposed to be, that's true, but it was a peach honey mustard glaze.
By the end. So basically we just chopped up all the leftover vegetables we had: carrots, celery, onions, potatoes, peas.
Oh, I guess Stick didn't have any soup then.
No, I just ate around the peas.
Are you pea intolerant?
What does that even mean?
Well, you know what happens.
It's not easy being green, Stick. So we have our trusty wooden spoon to mix everything together. It really serves a lot of purposes, that spoon.
I'd also recommend never picking up anything the way Stick does with a knife. He likes to go edge
fine.
in.
Watch any other cooking show. They do it the exact same way.
Watch any of our other cooking shows in the exact same way. So now we're just pouring the broth right in.
It looks a little gravy-y at this point, but it's been refrigerated for a whole night, so it's really thick. Once you heat it up, it gets nice and soupy.
Oh, so do you like my new robe, Chris? I got that at Macy's for half off on Black Friday.
I like the way it doesn't match mine, so if I ever come over again, we'll be able to tell each other apart.
We won't get confused. Yeah, it's hard to find robes like that.
We should do a cooking attire fashion show.
All right, guys.
I don't even know what to say after that. So anyway, this is the normal trick of refrigerating overnight and then starting in the morning about 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and then going to about 6. And the seasoning we used was just the same as the turkey seasoning from the last video. Marjoram, rosemary, basil, salt, pepper. And here it came out. Looks absolutely delicious.
We should point out that is in a big bowl. That's just a close-up.
There's a close-up because Stick broke the handle off our pot, so do a zoom out of the soup.
It broke itself off.
You'll notice that we didn't list a price.
Because it was free. It was
all leftovers.
Post-Thanksgiving.